Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lacquer Lover and you guys are watching the 8th and final installation of my BTS Mapless Soul Persona Nail Art series, and this is for Dionysus. Start by applying base coat to all of your fingernails. I'm using Unpeel Off Base Coat, which I got from Live Love Polish and which I always link in the description box. Then paint your index and pinky fingernails a pinkish purple and the rest of your fingernails a dark navy blue. So for this nail art, I started with a different sort of sequence. I started with my pinky fingernail, so I started with some brown polish to just draw the stem of the grapes, and now I'm using different shades of purple to draw in the grapes. So I went in with kind of like my regular medium pinkish purple, and then I will be using lighter purples and also darker purples to add kind of an outline and shading. So this grape design is inspired by a particular version of the physical Persona albums, and that is version 4, also known as the Dionysus version. So I kind of wanted to go with that similar vibe in terms of the filter and the coloration of the photos within the photo book, especially the ones where the boys are holding wine or they're holding fruits kind of near their mouths. So I went with like a pinkish purple scheme, and of course the grapes are representative of Dionysus, the god himself, who is the god of wine and grape harvest. And then I added a few large leaves around the grapes, so I use a murky green first, and then I'm also going to go on top with a yellowy green and a sort of normal Crayola color green. And by doing so, you create sort of like an ombre and more depth within the leaf, and that just makes it look more realistic, where the edges are kind of more frayed and old and dried, but the middle part is a little bit fresher and alive. And for the middle and ring fingernails, I'm using a silver foil polish to draw the inflatable jaguars. When I first saw these inflatable jaguars at MetLife Day 2, I was kind of taken aback. I was like very surprised because the way they kind of came out of the ground was really interesting, and it looked really cool. So I definitely knew that I wanted to include it in my nail art set for Dionysus. And as you guys are probably catching on, this is kind of different from the other nail art designs that I've done for the Mapless Soul Persona album tracks, because this is not really inspired by the lyrics, it's mostly inspired by images, so I wanted to throw that into the mix as well. And then I went in with black polish to just draw some fine details separating the fingers as well as the nose from the mouth, and also drawing in the second hand. And I also mixed black and the silver to create a darker shade for shading, which I added towards the belly area and also on the outer edge of the arm. Next, I took pure black polish and sort of just dotted that on towards the tip of the nail as well as towards the armpit area of the jaguar, and just kind of all around sparsely. I also added a small red dot for the eye. Next, I just drew a second version of this, but mirrored on the middle fingernail. So I started with the arm this time, and that goes up into the head and the mouth and the rest of the body. And as for the index fingernail, I did the same thing that I did for the pinky fingernail, but once again mirrored. So you have the design kind of split in half. You have the ring and the pinky fingernails going in the same direction, and the middle and the index fingernails going in the other. The purpose of this was to frame the jaguars because I just thought they were so fascinating and so cool. And as for the thumbnail design, I drew 2 shot glasses clinking. And as this is a nail design inspired by Dionysus, I obviously cannot leave out the important detail of drinking, so this nail accomplishes that. So when the 2 glasses clink against each other, the alcohol flows out into one letter, which is N in Dionysus, and the rest of the particles will spell out the entire name. And you also have a few particles splashing everywhere, so I added a few dots here and there just so you can really see that the alcohol is being splashed. And in many ways, this is also like a celebration. Finally, apply a generous layer of top coat and you're done. So that is it for my BTS Dionysus Nail Art tutorial and also the last of the Map of the Soul Persona series. I've had a lot of fun creating all these designs for you guys for the past 3 months, so let me know down below what your favorite was and I'll see you guys in the next.